Indian epic Ramayana in modern Kannada language. So it is like they have revived the era of the Mahakavya. It means epic poetry. Epic poetry they made it renew. So that is why they have revived as the era of Mahakavya in a contemporary form and charm which can be understood by the normal people like us. He is immortalized, means we will remember him for his famous works, especially in his contribution like universal humanism. He always works for the humanity. In his own word, when we talk about it in Kannada, Vishwa Manavata Vada. It means universal humanism. He was conferred Padma Vibhushan by Government of India. He has penned the Karnataka state anthem, which we always do recite in our most important occasions like Jaya Bharatiya Jananiya Tanujate. The writer is the great Kuvempu. Okay, so he's the writer of this poem, and the coming fellow is the translator of the poem. So Dr. C. Naganna is a well-known poet, critic and translator. He has brought more than 20 books in both Kannada and English so far. His Kannada translations of Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, an English rendering of Kuvempu's discursive essay, and Unsettle Your Mind and other essays have been well received. He is a professor of comparative literature and translation study. Beside being director of Prasaranga, the publication division of University of Mysore, a number of organizations have honored him for his literary and cultural contribution. So before going through with the poem, let me tell you the glossary. The first is nymph. Nymph means soul. Soul, okay? And like God, heavenly soul we'll call it. So that is nymph. Froth means foam. Verdant means green with grass or other rich vegetation. Greenery, we'll call it as verdant. Nectar means nectar is the juice of a flower which the honeybees take it out. The nectar turns into the honey. So this is all the glossaries. Now let's move on to the poem. Heaven, if you are not here on earth. Heaven, if you are not here on earth, where else could you be? If the heaven doesn't be here in earth, then where else it will be? Because we believe that we have a physical destination of heaven separately in somewhere. If ourselves cannot be God, then thereby can be no gods. If we ourselves cannot be gods, then there can be no gods. So the poet is here arguing that if the heaven is not here, then it cannot be anywhere else. If there is no God in ourselves, within us, then there can be no God anywhere else. If we are not the heavenly nymphs, the nymphs are not elsewhere. If we are not the heavenly soul, then the heavenly soul doesn't exist anywhere else. So he's trying to prove that we do have heavenly things within ourselves. Heaven, we actually feel that we do have a heaven as a separate location, separate destination, but no. Heaven, the poet is arguing here to show us the true vision, to have a clear perspective and to avoid those disbeliefs, etc. The poet is here trying to argue that if anywhere heaven is there, it is here itself. If anywhere God, it is within us. God is not anywhere else, not far, not near, anywhere, but within us. If we are not the heavenly nymph, nobody else could be separately be existing in this world. There's no chance. So if heaven is anywhere else, it should be here. If God is not, God could not be anywhere else, but he should be within us. And if we are not the heavenly nymphs, then there is no chance for the heavenly nymphs to exist anywhere else. So that now he is trying to prove the heavenly heavenly things which exist in this earth. Like while this roaring stream rushes fast, rolling surf at the edge of waves, the tender sunshine leans on verdant garden. When the sunshine hits slowly to the greeneries, and then the gentle sun makes this earth heaven. So the way the water rushes fast into the stream, the way the waves is rolling, surf at the edge of the wave, and the tender sunshine leans on the granaries and grasses, and then the gentle sun, when the sun comes up, it brightens the earth, it brightens the whole world. So similarly, it makes this earth heaven. When the sun come up, when it shows its brightness, it makes the earth heaven. It is the splendor of harvest and of moonlight. The heavenly feeling is there. The heaven exists when we do the harvesting. When we see the moonlight, heaven lies all over. Imbibing and spilling the song of nectar. The sweetness, nectar, nothing but a sweetness. It is all over spread. Heaven lies all over, imbibing and spilling the song of the nectar. So the poet does create heaven on earth. So here the poet want to prove that heaven does not exist anywhere else. It is here on earth. The poet does create heaven on earth. What we need is a perspective to enjoy every moment, to feel heavenly bliss with what we have got in our life, to see the nature, to be close with them. It does have the heavenly feelings. The way the streams rushes, the way the waves coming and hitting in the edge, the way the nature, the way the bird sings, the way the sky, the clouds, the rain, the winds, it all does have the heavenly bliss on earth. So that is why the poet is here trying to prove that there can be nowhere else. The God does not have any other position anywhere else. It is within us. We are the heavenly nymphs. There is no anybody else existing. If we are not the heavenly nymphs, there then be no heavenly nymphs. And if heaven does not exist here, then it does not exist anywhere. So it is our perspective to enjoy every present moment and to live and to feel the heavenly bliss on earth. So this is all about the poem, that heaven, if you are not here on earth, where else could you be? Now let's move on to the summary. In summary, so the first poet is trying to declare, is trying to argue that heaven, he's actually arguing with the words like heaven, God, nymphs. Why? Because we human believe that they are somewhere existing anywhere, hidden from our eyes. It is not so. We need a good perspective to see them, to feel them. So now let's understand. The first thing is that he's arguing. Okay, he argues like heaven, if does not exist on earth, it cannot exist anywhere else. Okay, why? Because, so that is first thing. Second is, when God is not within us, then anywhere else also it cannot be. And when we are not, we what the soul we have is the heavenly soul. We are the heavenly nymphs. So why do we make them somebody stranger? Like so they are existing in the heaven somewhere far from us. It is not so. It is not so. We need a proper perspective to see our God, to feel the God, to feel the heavenly nymphs within ourselves, and to see the heaven, the nature's beauty, the perspective to see the world. Surely, when we change our perspective, surely we'll see the heaven on earth. And that is all about the poet is trying. And second, he's dismissing the belief, like there is nobody else, like strangely we cannot make them so separate from us. There is like God, nymphs, etc. And apart from that, now the poet is trying to showcase by giving some of the hints, like see the nature, see the stream, the way they run fast, see the waves, the way they hit on the edge. By these examples, he's trying to prove that how the heaven exists on earth. And apart from that, the way he's showcasing with the light, he's trying to prove that when the sunlight hits to the greeneries and the grasses, it creates heaven on earth. When the brightness comes, it creates heaven. In the moonlight, it's a heavenly feel. When we do the harvest, it is a heavenly feel. From seed to grow into a beautiful fruit and vegetable, it is a heavenly bliss. And it is not possible, but it is not a humanly thing to do. We cannot create. So it is also a heavenly thing. It is a supreme thing. It is a supreme, it is a like a very blessed thing to have. When we see those harvests, the moonlight, the coolness, the chillness of those, the feeling, it does have the heavenly bliss, and we need to enjoy this heavenly bliss on earth. We cannot go to a separate location called heaven to enjoy this. So the thing is that we need to change our perspective. By that, the poet is trying to appreciate the nature's beauty and trying to tell us that we have to live and enjoy every moment at present, and along with that we need to feel that heavenly bliss on earth. Not somebody else after death you will be moving to heaven or you will be enjoying a life there. It's not such. We have to enjoy that same, what you want to enjoy thereafter, the same thing you can do it right now. So that is all about this summary. I hope you have understood this poem, and it has a really, really great meaning behind this.
Kuvempu biography. Poet photo of Kuvempu. Kuvempu was a Kannada poet, critic, playwright, thinker and novelist that was widely known as the best Kannada poet of the 20th century. His real name is actually Kopali Venkatappa Puttappa, but his pen name was Kuvempu. He was born on December 29, 1904 in Hirkadij village and died on November 11, 1994 in Mysore, Karnataka, India. Kuvempu's literary movement was Navodaya and he is most recognized for winning the prestigious Jnanapath Award. He has also won notable awards such as the Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Karnataka Ratna, among several others. Kuvempu's educational background. Kuvempu started his educational career by being homeschooled before joining the Anglo-Vernacular School during his middle school years. He moved to Mysore to complete his high school career at Wesleyan High School. Some of his works that he later completed were inspired by literature that he studied in high school and throughout his educational career. Kuvempu went to college at Maharaja College of Mysore with a major in Kannada. He graduated in 1929, but he didn't have many significant accomplishments during his educational career. He later ended up writing several pieces about his education experience, both good and bad. Nevertheless, you always knew that Kuvempu was going to be honest in any piece that he wrote. The life and family of Kuvempu. Kuvempu had a traditional family with a father and a mother, but his father died when Kuvempu was 12 years old. In 1937, he was forced to get married to Himavati because of the advice of the faculty at Ramakrishna Mission. This wasn't an unusual arrangement, as his culture typically arranges marriages. He eventually had 2 sons and 2 daughters. While Kuvempu didn't have many academic awards throughout his educational career, that doesn't mean he wasn't smart. He began lecturing at the Maharaja's College during the same year that he graduated from college in 1929. He then moved on to be an assistant professor for a few years before becoming a professor in Mysore in 1946. From there, he only advanced up in the ranks in the academic teaching profession. He became the principal of Maharaja's College in 1955 and was shortly thereafter selected as the Vice Chancellor of Mysore University, his alma mater. In fact, he was the first graduate from Mysore University to ever be nominated to that position at the school. However, his time spent as the Vice Chancellor wasn't perfect. He had to face many challenges as he tried to make changes to the administration. Regardless of the challenges, though, he pushed through and made a significant impact on the college. He held that position until he eventually retired in 1960. The major works from Kuvempu. Most of Kuvempu's writings are a direct reflection of his beliefs. He was a no-nonsense type of person and he made that evident when he wrote different pieces. His first of many poetry collections was introduced in 1930. One of the major works from Kuvempu is Sri Ramayana Darshanam. This was actually somewhat of a rewrite of another original piece, but brought from a different perspective. It was that very work that earned him the highly regarded Jnanapath Award. Kuvempu had a talented knack for getting his point across and allowing others to see his vision through his words, whether it was an original piece or a different perspective on existing works. Kuvempu's significance. Kuvempu is a significant figure to society in many ways, from his dozens of poems, plays, essays and other works. However, it is one speech that he made that still resonates to modern society today. Back in 1974, Kuvempu made a speech at the convocation ceremony at Bangalore University. That speech was later published in a book because of the message he portrayed. He discussed at length the developmental policies and even called for a reassessment of them. It is a message that still is relevant to modern society. Because of that speech, and also Kuvempu's other accomplishments, he has a university named after him. The government of Karnataka created Kuvempu University in 1987, just 7 years before his death. The university is a constant reminder of the works of Kuvempu and the benefits to society that he made. His message.
Hi friends, welcome to my channel. This video is about Kuvempu. Kuppali Venkatappa Puttappa is popularly known as Kuvempu. He was born on 29 December 1904 in Mysore. His mother's name was Seethamma and his father's name was Venkatappa Gowda. He completed his education at Mysore University. He started his career as a lecturer in the Kannada language at Maharaja's College in Mysore. Later, he became the greatest Kannada poet of the 20th century. He wrote all his literary works using the pen name Kuvempu. He became very famous with the book Sri Ramayana Darshanam, an epic based on Ramayana. Kuvempu was the first Kannada writer to receive the Jnanpith Award. He also raised his voice.
Introduction. Who is Kuvempu? Kuppali Venkatappa Puttappa, popularly known by his pen name Kuvempu, was an Indian novelist, poet, playwright and critic. He is widely regarded as the greatest Kannada poet of the 20th century. He was the first Kannada writer to be decorated with the Jnanpith Award. Early life and education. Kuvempu was born in Kuppali, a village in Shivamogga district of the erstwhile Kingdom of Mysore, now in Karnataka, into a Kannada-speaking Vokkaliga family. His mother Seethamma hailed from Koppa, Chikmagaluru, while his father Venkatappa Gowda was from Kuppali, a village in Tirthahalli Taluk in present-day Shimoga district, where he was raised. Early in his childhood, Kuvempu was homeschooled by an appointed teacher from South Canara. He joined the Anglo-Vernacular School in Tirthahalli to continue his middle school education. Kuvempu's father died when he was only 12. He finished his lower and secondary education in Kannada and English languages in Tirthahalli and moved to Mysore for further education at the Wesleyan High School. Thereafter, he pursued college studies at the Maharaja College of Mysore and graduated in 1929, majoring in Kannada. Kuvempu's ancestral house in Kuppali. Family. Kuvempu married Hemavati on 30th April 1937. Kuvempu has two sons, Purnachandra Tejasvi and Kokilodaya Chaitra, and two daughters, Indukala and Tarini. Career. Kuvempu began his academic career as a lecturer of Kannada language at the Maharaja's College in Mysore in 1929. He worked as an assistant professor in the Central College, Bangalore from 1936. He rejoined Maharaja's College in Mysore in 1946 as a professor. He went on to become the principal of Maharaja's College in 1955. In 1956, he was selected as the Vice Chancellor of Mysore University, where he served till retirement in 1960. He was the first graduate from Mysore University to rise to that position. Works and message. Kuvempu started his literary work in English with a collection of poetry called Beginner's Muse, but later switched to his native Kannada. He spearheaded the movement to make Kannada the medium for education, emphasizing the theme education in the mother tongue. To cater to the needs of Kannada research, he founded the Kannada Adhyayana Samasthe, Institute of Kannada Studies in the Mysore University, which has since been renamed after him as Kuvempu Institute of Kannada Studies. As Vice Chancellor of Mysore University, he pioneered the study of sciences and languages. He championed the publishing of knowledge for the layman with G. Hanumanta Rao. The speech he made during the convocation ceremony of Bangalore University was published in the book Vichara Krantige Ahvana. It calls for a reassessment of developmental policies. Though it was delivered in 1974, the message is still considered relevant to modern society. In the year 1987, the government of Karnataka started the Kuvempu University in the Shimoga district of Karnataka. This is located in the Gyana Sahyadri campus, 28 kilometers from Shimoga city. Biographies on Kuvempu. Annana Neenapu by Purnachandra Tejaswi, Yugada Kavi by K.C. Shiva Reddy, Kuvempu by Pradhan Gurudatta, Magalu Kanda Kuvempu by Tarini Chidananda. India Post honored Kuvempu by releasing a postage stamp in 1997 and 2017. The Kuvempu University in Shimoga, Karnataka was established in 1987. The Vishwa Manava Express was named in honor of Kuvempu's idea of Vishwa Manava, Universal Man. Awards and honors. Karnataka Ratna 1992, Padma Vibhushan 1988, Pampa Award 1987, Gyanpith Award 1967, Rashtrakavi National Poet 1964, Padma Bhushan 1958, Sahitya Akademi Award 1955. To landmark the Golden Jubilee of Kannada's first Gyanpith Award, on 29th December 2017, Kuvempu's 113th birth anniversary, Google India dedicated a Google Doodle in his honor. Memorials. Kavi Mane, Kuvempu Memorial. The childhood home of Kuvempu at Kuppali has been converted into a museum by Rashtra Kavi Kuvempu Pratishtana, a trust dedicated to Kuvempu. This trust has undertaken immense developmental works in Kuppali to showcase Kuvempu and his works to the external world. Kavishela. The gradually rising hill south of the house is named Kavishela. Kuvempu's mortal remains were placed at Kavishela. Kuvempu's memorial in Kavishela, Kuppali. Bibliography. Epic. Sri Ramayana Darshanam, Volume 1, 1949, Volume 2, 1957. Chitran Gada. Novels. Kanuru Heggadati, 1936. Malegalalli Madhumagalu, 1967. Plays. Birugali, 1930. Maharatri, 1931. Smashana Kurukshetra, 1931. Jalagara, 1931. Raktakshi, 1932. Shudra Tapasvi, 1944. Beralge Koral, 1947. Yamana Solu, Chandrahasa, Balidana, and Kanina, 1974. Stories and Poems for Children. Bommanna Halliya Kindrajogi, 1936. Marie Vijnani, 1947.